Hello, hello. It's Sonia chiming in with Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company. Thank you so much for joining us again. We are at week 13. It is June the 21st. Can you believe it's Father's Day? And we are officially in summer. Woo-oo! So exciting, right? We've got months of glorious sunshine to enjoy before we get the refreshness of fall. One of my favorite seasons. I love everything about summer, but there's so much about the fall that I look forward to. That's not why you're listening, though. My friends, you're listening today to hear about how you can turn inspiration into action and how you can move forward by decluttering, de-stressing, and deciding what to do next. Those three topics are about today's podcast. So declutter, de-stress, and decide what to do next. And you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with mindset or weight loss or nutrition or movement or even finances or even relationships? How does decluttering, de-stressing, and deciding what to do next, how does it matter? It's huge. Sit back, relax, grab your pen and paper, or enjoy whatever it is that you're doing as you take maybe 20 minutes today. I don't think it's going to be super long. Maybe 20 minutes today to listen to how this is going to make a big difference in your life. So first of all, I want to ask you, and you don't bother putting your hand up because, I can't see them, but how many of you have gained anywhere between 5 to 15 pounds over the last 3 months? Right? It may not be 15 pounds. It may be 5 pounds, but maybe you have a smaller frame, so it's more noticeable. Or you gain it around your midsection, which is stress. So we need to de-stress. The weight that we put on, that is from stress. So the best thing that we can do to de-stress is to journal. We've talked about this before. Another thing that we can do about de-stress is to become more mindful, prepare as much as we can, and set our intentions for the day. There's one more key factor about de-stressing, and that is to bookend your day. Start your day at the same time, end your day at the same time. Your body gets used to it. You get used to it. You can then plan and organize and decide what you're going to do next based on that routine of the bookends. We can talk about this in detail, but I definitely want to make sure that I skim the surface today for sure on how having the bookends to your day help with de-stressing. Preparing for what's next helps you with de-stress because most stress is a form of anxiety. Anxiety is worrying about the future. Typically, when we stress, that's all we do, is we worry about the future and what might happen. What might be the result to our actions? What might be the result to that decision? And that's why we stress. So, in order to avoid stressing, we need to live in the moment. We need to do the very best with what we have today to prepare for tomorrow. Okay. One of the best ways of doing that is sleep, proper nutrition, movement, and mindset. Of course, if you can get outdoors, that's even better. But sleep, aim to get anywhere between 7.5 to 8 hours if you can. If you can get it consistently, great. If you can go to bed earlier, great. Really, that is huge. The nutrition that you put in your body as soon as you wake up in the morning is super, super, super important. And it doesn't have to be within half an hour of waking up, but try to mix your macros. Just to highlight on macros, that's a combination of protein, fats, and carbohydrates. And every single food that we eat falls into at least one of those categories: fat, protein, and carbohydrates. So when I say mix your macros, for breakfast, do not just eat a bowl of cereal. That's not going to get you anything else but hungry soon. Same thing with a bagel. But mix your macros. So if you can have Greek yogurt with berries, you're getting a combination of fat and protein in the Greek yogurt, and you're getting the carbohydrates from the berries. Whereas if you just ate a fruit salad, you are going to be hungry again shortly after. One of my favorite ways of starting my breakfast in the mornings is with a smoothie. Lately, I've been having peanut butter. Yes, to make it even better, you can have almond butter. But I've been having a tablespoon of peanut butter, almond milk, peanut butter, spinach is what I've been adding, a whole handful of spinach to my smoothie, hemp hearts. I add glutamine to my smoothie, and almond milk. And then I've been adding some MCT oil as well lately. It does make a big difference for me. If you are going to add MCT oil, just use a little bit at a time until your body gets used to it. But every single morning, I am starting my morning off with, honestly, a good handful, probably 2 handfuls of spinach in my smoothie, which normally I wouldn't be eating that kind of vegetable in the morning. I am fueling my body with nutrients. MCT is a healthy fat. Peanut butter is a fat that I am getting. I'm also adding a scoop of protein powder. That's what I forgot to mention. So there's also a scoop of protein powder. And half a banana. So let's go over that smoothie again. Half a frozen banana, because we peel them, cut them in half, and freeze them so we have them later. So I use half a frozen banana, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, almond milk. I use the 30-calorie one, so unsweetened vanilla, I think, 30 calorie per cup. Almond milk, MCT oil, hemp hearts, glutamine, and I'm using chocolate protein powder right now. So that is my typical smoothie that I'm drinking on average 6 days a week for breakfast. That is going to help my body with stress because I'm not just eating something that's going to make my blood sugars spike. I have mixed macros in there. Stepping away from your routine causes stress on your body, which is exactly what's happened to a lot of people over the last 3 to 4 months when COVID first began. We didn't know what was going to happen next. We couldn't decide what to do. We were stressed and anxious. And when that happens, that puts our body into flight or fight mode. And for many of us, we were very much in fight mode. So in many areas of our life. So we were in fight mode fight mode. I'm just trying to think. Our bodies were in fight mode for nutrition, for finances, for sleep because of worry. In many cases, we weren't moving around as much because we couldn't. We were restricted with what we could do, and we just needed to pause and recharge. So now that we've adapted to that period of time, we need to de-stress from it. So yoga, meditation, journaling, walking, talking, any kind of movement that's repetitive will help with de-stress. Any kind of movement that is quiet. So that's where the yoga, setting intentions, journaling in a quiet space would certainly help with de-stress. Having a nice cup of coffee in the morning or even a tea at night before bed as you start your bedtime routine, and getting yourself comfortable with what your day looks like and what your bookends to your day look like. So your bookends would be when you get up and when you go to bed. Is there a morning routine that you look forward to when you get up? Is there a bedtime routine that you look forward to at a certain time each night? There is for me. Every single morning there are certain things I do, including movement and getting outside and eating that protein shake I was sharing with you. So I'm fueling my body with nutrients. I am reading, I am journaling, I am trying to get some physical exercise in. That's my goal most of the day before I even start work. My evening routine, I look forward to every single night. We sit down and have tea, and sometimes a treat, sometimes not a treat. We watch a show together for 45 minutes before bed every single night. If I'm still awake, I might read for maybe 5 minutes in bed, but I look forward to that evening routine that we have every single night. And it's quiet, cozy time on the couch. And we're neither one of us are big TV watchers here, so it's great that we have this together. We have this moment that we get to come together, and I look forward to that every single night. So that is part of my bookends That's part of my day, is the way I start my day and the way I end my day. The more you can keep that into a routine, the more that's going to help you de-stress. Okay, we're going to move over to declutter for just a little bit. And you're going to see how it all mixes together as I'm talking about them in separate subjects. But decluttering, okay. Remember how I just asked how many of you gained like 5 to 15 pounds over the last 4 months or so? You don't need to put your hands up because I can't see them, but you know who you are. There's a small percent of the population that's done amazing and who have managed to lose weight. Stress does that for people, right? A lot of people emotionally eat. A few other people will hold on and not gain any more weight because they literally don't have an appetite, and they will then in turn lose some of the body fat and lose a lot of weight because of stress. But the majority of the people I've been working with, and I have worked with in the past, emotionally eat, which means whenever they're in flight or fight mode, they naturally gain weight. So if you find that you have gained some weight, I'm going to talk about and share a few tips right now to help get you moving into the right direction. Okay. Find 5 outfits in your closet that you love. Okay, this is part of your homework, so make sure you grab your pen and paper. 5 outfits that you completely love in your closet. Go through all of your clothes. It's summer. You know what shorts and t-shirts and tank tops and dresses and capris and bathing suit weather, right? You still know that we can't go out very far, very long. Beaches are still closed or opening up soon, but it's cooler, more relaxing clothes. And of these clothes, find 5 outfits that you love in your closet. The next step is to find 5 outfits, now it could be the same ones, that make you feel amazing. Okay, so you've found 5 outfits that you've loved, and now you're going to find 5 outfits that make you feel amazing. The next thing you're going to do is pick out 5 more outfits. Now, I'm assuming that you have a bunch of clothes, and if you don't, it can be the same clothes, but just categorize them. It's okay. 5 outfits that make you feel confident, powerful, and sexy. So not 15, but 5 that fall into one of those 3 categories. Confident, powerful, and sexy. So if you have a lot of clothes right now, you should have 15 outfits. These can be mix and match. This can be your fitness wear with your daytime wear. Mix it up. I don't care. You're going for 5 outfits that you love, 5 outfits that make you feel amazing, and 5 outfits in total here that make you feel confident, powerful, and sexy. And I don't care what it is. It can be your bathing suit. It doesn't matter to me. But these clothes that you are going to be picking out this week out of your closet, I want you to put them in a separate spot in your closet. And I want you to look at the other clothes that you have there and think about how often you wear them and what you do with them. And if you have more than one space, I share a closet with my husband, so I use another half closet, and then I have some extra storage space under the bed. So this is one of the tips I've done recently, is I have picked out the outfits that I love. I have picked out the outfits that made me feel amazing. And the outfits that make me feel confident, powerful, and sexy, I have identified all of those. And I do have some special occasion clothes just because of where we're at right now. So that is the one caveat to this, is maybe you might be going back, maybe you need to dress up, maybe you don't need your gym workout clothes anymore. I don't know. You can put some of those things to the side right now because we just don't know what that looks like in the short term. And I'm not suggesting you throw anything out. But what we're going to do now is, over the next month or so, is pay attention to what clothes you are using that are not in your favorites pile. If you're not using any of them, or not very many of them, it's time to let them go. Because if they're your favorites and they make you feel this good, you want to be wearing them all the time. So why am I talking about clothes on a show to do with declutter, de-stress, and decide? First of all, it's going to help you de-stress when you are picking out clothes that make you feel good. Okay? It's going to help you decide what to do next based on what you're wearing, or you're going to pick the clothes based on what you're wearing and doing later that day. So the decision is going to be easier. Stress is going to be removed. Now, there's one more component. By decluttering, you are making space for what works and what serves you now. So take this theory that we're talking about in terms of clothes and apply it to your crafts in your house, or your hobbies, or your books, or maybe you have a shoe collection, or your kitchen drawer. But by decluttering every area of your life, and you just start somewhere, and that's where we started with the clothes today. But it's going to help you take the stress away, and it's going to help you easily decide what to do next. So by decluttering your clothes, you're going to have fewer options to choose from. Fewer options to choose from means you're not wasting or expelling all of the energy in your brain to make a choice that is simple. It's like having a morning routine, and it's like having an evening routine. It's the same thing. Now you have the clothes that you're picking out, you're just grabbing and going, or you're setting them out the night before. So you're just taking some energy and saving it for later, the energy that would have spent now by deciding what to wear. Now you know whatever you grab is going to make you feel fantastic because you love it, it makes you feel amazing, or you look confident, powerful, and sexy. This is just one area. We're going to do the same thing to the kitchen. We're going to do the same thing with how you're spending your money. We're going to do the same thing to other areas of your life. But start somewhere. And starting with clothes is very powerful because this represents the reflection every single day when you look in the mirror. If you like how you feel, if you like how you look, you're going to want to chase down that feeling and have it every single day. That's why we're starting here, because your return on investment on this little project is going to keep you elevated and so much happier longer, and it won't take you long to get there. Did I mention we can take the same process and put this towards our Tupperware drawer? Oh my goodness, we'll talk about this later. Okay, so what happens if you've gained the extra weight right now and your favorite clothes don't fit? Right? Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy when you've been working really hard and then life interfered and you're now disappointed in yourself for gaining the extra weight, for coming off the bandwagon, for trying so hard, and now you feel like you have to start all over. But on top of that, nothing fits. Nothing looks good. Go through the exercise we just talked about. If you can't find 5 outfits you love, find 1 or 2. If you can't find 5 outfits that make you feel amazing, find 1 or 2. The same thing about confident, powerful, and sexy. If you really, really, really don't have anything right now that works, do yourself a favor and buy some clothes that are one size bigger than you are right now. Try them on and see how they fit. If you've only gained 5 to 15 pounds in the last 4 months, one size bigger should be all it takes. And it just might mean that the same clothes are fitting a little bit looser because you're one size bigger, but it's going to help you smile and look better because you're still going to be confident. We're going to work on a plan to release the weight, but we can't do anything while you're still stressed. So today's exercise is all about stressing, decluttering, and helping you decide what to do and how to move forward. So I'm not encouraging you to go and spend money unless you need to. But when you are going to buy new clothes, try them on at least one size bigger. Okay? Give yourself grace right now and know that you're going to go back to it. Part of the reason of the weight gain is the stress. That is huge. With stress, we choose comfort foods as we eat. We choose the couch over movement. And we've all know that a body in motion stays in motion. That's why in our family, we don't sit down and watch TV until part of our bedtime routine. None of us, the children are different, but it just isn't in our makeup at all. So, a body in motion stays in motion. We're going to help you de-stress, declutter, and decide what to do next. So you may have had to buy those clothes a little bit bigger. That's okay. You're going to make a plan to decide what you want differently. What of your favorite clothes do you want to get into again? And why? Make a decision as to how important it is to you And what do you want to do about it? Does this mean setting up bookends for your day so you're living in a less of a stress life? Does it mean decluttering certain areas so you can actually see what you have and what resources are available to you without taking a lot of energy? As I promised today, I wasn't going to chat too long. I just wanted to share those points about decluttering, de-stressing, and deciding. We went over the clothes. We talked about flight and fight, and we went over the benefits of a bookending your day, including a morning routine and an evening routine. There's so much more we can talk about that in the day. We also went over clothes, but it was more clothes as to making you feel good, because it just takes one thing to make you feel good. And once you start to feel good again and smile and your eyes are beaming because you love the way you look, it's not because anybody else is complimenting you. It's because you're complimenting yourself, because your eyes are sparkling, because you know you look good. Your hair is done, you're smiling, and your shoulders are back a little bit more, and you're breathing better, and you're just at peace with yourself. That's the feeling that we're going for. By de-stressing our life, decluttering our life, we're going to get that feeling. Okay, that feeling is going to help us decide to stay there. When we decide to stay in that realm of good, positive, confident, relaxed feeling, that we're just smiling all the time and beaming, maybe not all the time, okay, but like 80% of the time, we're just happy with where we're at. And I know right now we're not all at the same spot, and I know right now that everybody is different. We're all in different positions, but you can make a decision to make one step different than what you did yesterday to make your life that much better. It's called the 1% difference. What can you do tomorrow to make it just a little bit better than what you did today? And when you keep on moving in that direction of always trying to make it better, when you make that decision, and better could be, and you heard me say this earlier when we talked about the smoothie, better could be adding almond butter instead of peanut butter to my smoothie, right? It could be that simple. And for some people, they could have gone from eating cereal to eating a protein bar. Well, eating a protein bar is better than cereal. Eating a smoothie is better than eating a protein bar. But it all starts somewhere. If you're eating out for breakfast every single day and now you start eating something at home, that's better than eating out. So what's better for me is better for you, is better for somebody else. It's all different. But that 1% difference that you can make to your day tomorrow to make it 1% better than your day today, could you work on solidifying your morning routine? Could you work on bookending your day? You get to decide what you're going to do to de-stress and declutter your life in multiple areas. When it comes to decluttering, you make room for what's in the now. Not what you have to do later, not what's coming up, but what's in the moment now. And then you're able to decide if you have time to prepare for what's coming up. When you prepare for what's coming up, you are in charge. You're proactive. You're not reacting. When you react, you get stressed. And we're working on de-stressing that part. All right, my friends, you all know that I'm here to help you throughout the week anytime. You can go to Ask Sonya, AskSonya.ca, and there's multiple quizzes. There's links to my podcast. There is different things that you can do on that site. You can find me online at freshapproachfitness.ca or on all of my social platforms. I'm on Instagram, fresh_approach_fitness, and social media. Facebook, I am under Fresh Approach Fitness as well. So definitely reach out, find me socially, reach out to me on here, send me a comment. I always reply to all of the comments I receive. And know that we are now on Apple and Spotify. So wherever you would listen to your favorite podcasts, you can now find Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company. So thank you so very much for listening once again. If there's anything specific you want me to talk about, let me know, and know that we have some guest speakers starting as soon as July. So hold tight for that, because that's going to be fantastic. So till we meet again, my friends, have yourself a great week.